Guys, look at how weird these stories are on YouTube. So there's a story called I'm turning into a fish. Then below it, you got one called I'm slowly turning into a tree. Did I get blessed by the fish god? And then finally, all the way down, I'm slowly turning into a gorilla. These are, there's so many. That means today we'll be reacting to a story, which again, could be true. Well, I'm sorry, hold up. Did that just, whoa.
Hi, my name is...
Stop, pause. Excuse me, did I just see an FBI warning that said no redistribution? Pause. I can't read the freaking intro because you dang thing won't pause. I can't get it to work, so if there is a warning that says I'm breaking the law, you know why it didn't work. Here's your proof. Let's get in here.
Hi, my name is Sierra, and
What's up,
I
Sierra?
developed a disgusting condition that completely ruined my life.
Yeah, well, I guess turning into a fish would do that.
Now, I don't want to sound condescending when I say this, but I'm pretty.
That's not condescending, that's called egotistical.
Really,
Unless you call me ugly.
really pretty. From the time I started school, I knew that. My mom
Yeah,
entered
okay.
me in beauty pageants from when I was 5 years old, and I won almost every single one. But in school, there was this girl named Monica who was the leader of the girls.
Monica's
and
prettier.
She was not a nice person.
bad
She
girl.
was gorgeous and dangerous. Honestly, I was scared of her.
Look, if I'm just saying, if you should probably have swapped. I mean, obviously Monica is more pretty here. I mean, I'm just saying. This girl has orange creamsicle hair.
But for years, I saw how she treated and humiliated people she didn't like.
What's going
So
on?
I knew
What-
I had to
what
be
was
on
that?
her good side.
Why was there a girl dancing with water? What kind of humiliation? I'm sorry. Is that a new trend I missed?
I made fun of people with her. I helped her pull pranks on the nerdy kids
Get
in our
him.
class. And when we got into middle school, I did even worse things with her. We would hide other girls' clothes when they changed.
I did not think you can't say it. You can't say I did worse things with her. Show that scene and then that's not. I feel like I was misled.
For gym
frankly.
class, we would spread rumors about the girls having crushes on popular guys.
Oh, that's bad.
One time, we
That's
picked
real
on
bad.
this poor girl named Audrey.
Audrey, it's always Audrey, and I bet she has orange hair. I knew an Audrey with orange hair.
Really, I had no
I
problem
think that was her name.
with
I
Audrey.
really don't know. I haven't talked to her in like 10 years.
I thought she was really smart and nice, but Monica hated her. So she made me pull this prank with her. We told her that one of the popular boys liked her. And
Oh my gosh, she did not do it. Come on, guys, we're a minute and a half in. Where's the fish at? You know, I'm kind of bored here. Where's my fish at?
she should ask him to go to the school dance with her. When she asked the boy in front of everyone, he laughed in her face.
Wow.
She ran out of the room crying. Everyone was laughing at her. And
Look at those demons in the background laughing with her. That's great. So wholesome.
inside, I felt really sad. How could I do this to her?
Okay.
I tried to go up and talk to Audrey after, but I
What?
couldn't bring myself to. I was so ashamed that I had been a part of that. For a couple
How does this relate to you becoming a fish?
of weeks, I felt terrible about it. And when I was in 7th grade, I had guys asking for my number left and right.
Wow.
Even some 8th graders were winking at me in the
wow, 8th
hall. But
graders.
there was only
Wow.
one I was interested in,
His name? I'm gonna guess his name right now. Kyle.
Micah. He was a
Did you say Micah?
tall and handsome skateboarder.
Micah?
And he was seriously everything I ever wanted
see
in
that
a
one
guy. And one Friday afternoon, he asked if I wanted to go to a party with him and his friends on Saturday.
So she's gonna go to the party. Early prediction: drink some kind of a potion from a witch that turns her into a fish.
I played it cool and told
Could
him
be
I'd
true,
be
by the way.
there.
We don't know
but
if this is
inside,
false yet.
I was losing it.
Okay.
I wanted to do a backflip. I wanted to set off fireworks that spelled out yes.
I was losing it. I wanted to spell the word yes. Yes.
That night, I blasted music and danced around my room while I picked out my outfit. I thought that Saturday was going to be the best day of my life. I would go to my very first party
That looks like a Star Wars themed people, doesn't it?
and kiss Micah. I woke
Wow.
up the next morning. Something felt wrong. My
Fishy.
whole room smelled like rotting fish.
Uh-oh.
As soon as I opened my eyes, I sat up and gagged at the smell. It
This is weird. Like, this is weird. Okay.
was so bad, I was convinced my cat had to have dragged a dead animal in there or something. I looked under the bed, in the closet, and under all my clothes on the floor, trying to find the source of the smell, but there wasn't anything. Then I walked into the hall to ask my mom for help. I swear, it
You
seemed
just wake up smelling like a fish?
like the smell was following me.
Oh,
it was
Jesus,
so
weird.
deep in my nose, I felt like I was never gonna be able to get it out. When my mom came into the room, she looked like she was about to puke.
Oh my gosh.
She helped me
Hey, look, I'm sorry. I said a few minutes ago, like, where's the fish thing? And now that it's here, I wish it wasn't.
look around, but neither of us could find the source of the smell. My mom figured a poor animal had just gotten caught in the
Oh my
pipes or
gosh.
something.
What?
So I went to go shower to make sure the smell wasn't in my hair or anything. Even after the weird mishap, I was humming and singing, super excited for the party that night.
I just wonder, like, if the smell was following you, would you not smell it in the shower if it was still there? Like, would you not be like, still in here, it's
But
probably
when
me?
I got out of the shower, I could still smell it.
Weird.
The whole room should have smelled like roses and lilacs, but it
Lilac?
smelled like rotten, disgusting fish.
Ew.
When I lifted my arms to tie my hair up,
You
it
saw gills?
was even worse.
No.
It was so bad, I felt like I was gonna pass out.
Is she going to physically turn into a fish or just have fish-like traits? Like she can swim fast and she stinks like a fish.
Then a horrible realization hit me. I leaned in, putting my nose beside my armpit, and my world came crashing
Oh,
down.
no.
The smell wasn't my room.
It was
me. I smelled my arm, my hand even my legs. And I
Ew.
realized every single inch of me smelled like a dump truck.
Are you smelling like a dump truck or a fish? Because like I feel like a dump truck, I'm just trying to be honest here. Dump trucks smell kind of like dirt, gravel, and like oil. Fish have a clear fish smell. There's like a big
I
differentiation here.
immediately ran to the shower again. I lathered on every single soap and body scrub I owned.
That's nasty.
I seriously scrubbed my
I don't like, okay, apparently I don't like the sound of scrubbing skin,
skin
but
until it was bright
let's move
red.
on.
After about an hour, I got out, convinced I had solved the problem.
Okay.
Except I hadn't. I hadn't solved the problem at all. Now I smelled like a pineapple, coconut, lilac, rose, lavender, fish sandwich.
Ew.
In a panic, not knowing what to do, I ran out to tell my mom the smell was me. She took one whiff of me
and died. Her mom just died right here, right now. End of the story.
and looked like she wanted to die.
didn't work.
She told me she'd take me to the doctors to see what was going on, and I
Wow.
started crying. I didn't want to go to the doctor's office.
neither.
I wanted to go to the party. My mom scheduled an appointment for Monday and told me that I could borrow one of her strongest perfumes for the party.
This is so weird. Like, why is there no explanation as to why she just suddenly kind of smells like a fish?
She told me the kids probably wouldn't notice anyway, and
What?
for some stupid reason, I believed her. When I showed up at the party, I looked great. But I smelled like an old lady. I kept telling myself at least I didn't smell like fish. For about an hour or so, things were okay.
That's good.
Monica made fun of me for smelling like her grandma, but I brushed it off by telling her the perfume was one of a kind from Paris,
Okay.
and she stopped making fun of me. I started
Wow,
getting
guys,
close
if,
to
well, if nothing else, there's a good lesson. What English? How did I do that? If that's a lesson for nothing else, guys, remember that if you just say it's a one of a kind from Paris or something, you're good to go.
Yeah, and I was practically in heaven. He was so cute.
Maybe Ed
I felt
Sheeran
like my
over
heart
here.
was gonna explode. We sat by a bonfire and talked and laughed, but soon people started asking what the horrible smell was. People were covering their noses, and I did the same, but it only made it worse for me. My sweaty hands smelled like a
Dang it, I thought she was gonna start, like, I thought she was about to start making water. I don't know if, like, don't fish cover themselves in a layer of water? I thought she was about to be moist. That was weird.
fish market. I kept up the facade for a while, but people were getting really uncomfortable. They
Yeah,
looked
me
around
too.
trying to find someone or something to blame the smell on. The more they looked, the more nervous I got, and
Ew.
the worse the smell was. In my panic, I
Wouldn't
ran
it be weird if she just turned into an actual dead fish? Yep, that's the story.
to the bathroom. I tried to wash my armpits in the sink, and I piled on the random perfumes and creams that I found in the cabinet. But when I walked out of the bathroom, everyone from the party was standing in the hallway. The minute I left, the smell went away, and they knew. I tried to say it wasn't me, but Monica rolled her eyes. She knew better. Micah was standing right there, watching it
Wow,
all.
so you just lost your chance with your boy. You lost your chance with the girl that looks like an evil demon. It's not looking good for you.
Happen, and he was covering his nose and mouth in disgust. I felt the tears starting to form in my eyes. Monica shoved me back in the bathroom and held the door shut, telling me to take a shower. I could hear absolutely everyone giggling, and
That's
my
brutal.
heart sank. This couldn't be happening. I tried to open the door, and eventually I gave up and climbed through the window.
Wow.
I called my mom to pick me up.
Where's your gills?
I spent the next day
Start
in
swimming.
bed crying. My mom tried to comfort me, but
least
I
a
could see
fin.
that
Come
she
on.
could hardly stand sitting beside me because I smelled so bad. That day, I stood in the shower for 4 hours until
Wow.
my skin was practically screaming. We strolled into the
I feel like you got some real parenting issues if you're letting your daughter shower 4 hours. Like at that point, she might be dead.
doctor's office the next morning, and everyone waiting in the office looked disgusted with my smell. I wanted to crawl into a hole and disappear, but even that wasn't as bad as what happened next.
Yes,
the
here we go.
doctor
Finally, she will actually be physically transforming into a fish. Let's go.
completely blew me off.
I'm
I
excited.
was in tears, telling him how much my condition was affecting me, and he laughed and told me to just take better care of my body.
What?
I had heard that some doctors were bad, but I had never encountered anyone that was that ignorant before. And unfortunately, I believed him. Before school the next morning, I got up at 3 a.m. so I could soak in the bath and take 3 showers.
Okay.
By the time I was finished, the water was running ice cold.
Good.
When I got to school, it became obvious that
That it
what I
didn't
had
work.
done hadn't worked.
Great.
Every single person I walked by said, ew, and covered their
This just sounds like a girl going through puberty that's just really sweaty and stinky. I am not believing that she's gonna turn into a fish in the next 5 minutes. I am losing faith, people.
noses. I put my hood up over my
Did
head,
we get clickbaited?
wishing I could just disappear. In one of the small classrooms, my teacher had to open a window.
That's a big
when
window.
that didn't work, she asked me to go out into the hall. She
Wow.
told me I needed to go sit in the office to do my work. If
Wow.
you're not going to
Poor
take care
office.
of yourself, you can't sit in this class and distract everyone. When I tried to explain why I smelled, she ignored me. Instead of going to the principal's office, I just stormed home.
Where is
I
your
watched
gills?
my
Guys,
social
I'm losing patience right now. We got a troll face floating that just came out of nowhere, but we ain't got no gills. You can't tell me I turned into a fish 8.5 minutes in, you ain't no fish gills.
People were saying I didn't shower. People were even saying crazy stuff like my
I'm putting it on, guys. My angry face is coming on. Until she becomes a fish, I will be angry.
dad was actually a fish person. I decided I couldn't go to school anymore. My mom told me I had to, but I refused
hold it much
and
longer.
laid
I
in
hope she
bed
becomes a
all
fish soon.
day. She decided to put me in an educational program at a small private school
No.
nearby.
Become
it
a
was
fish.
only a few hours every day, and then
I'm getting angrier as it goes on.
the rest of my work would be online. I knew when I got there, everyone would hate me. And when I walked inside, I was almost sure they would, because I saw Audrey, the girl Monica and I had picked on, sitting
I can't do it. I can't get any angrier. This is all I got.
there. Everyone else covered their noses when I walked in, but Audrey just smiled at me. During our lunch
It's
break,
hurting, guys. My nose hurts. I'm
I
just gonna
asked
send it.
Audrey
We gotta
when she
commit.
had
Become a
come
fish.
here. It turns out in 6th grade, the bullying had gotten so bad she decided to leave. I apologized for being
I don't care. All right, I don't care about your backstory. I want to see you become a fish, okay?
mean to her, and she
Won't you
just
become
shrugged,
right now?
telling me it was in the past. I was so confused.
Come on, just one gill and
why
I'm done.
She didn't
One
react
gill and it
to
goes
my
back to normal.
smell. And then she told me something that made everything make sense. Her allergies were acting up. She was the only person who would talk to me.
What?
The only person who would get close to me. And I knew
We're in
I
10
had
minutes.
to keep her around.
Y'all
I
better
missed
become a fish
people
soon.
so badly. I found out she was allergic to tree pollen. I'm not proud of what I did next, but every morning I ran out into the woods and shook trees and wiped their leaves down,
that's not
collecting as much pollen as I could. When she wasn't looking,
I should have waited a little longer to commit to this, shouldn't I have? I'm gonna send
I
it. though.
rubbed the pollen on her desk, on her bag, even on her jacket. For weeks, her eyes were puffy and red, but we were becoming great friends. Even after everything I had put her through, we were
Become a
growing
fish.
really close.
What, she's a
And I
zombie?
felt terrible that I was making her sick. How could I do this to someone who cared about me? I thought back to what
I
everyone
can't do
else
anymore. I
treated
give
me
up.
like, and my
She's not
heart
becoming a fish. I am
sank.
sold.
I couldn't
There's not enough
afford
time.
to lose my only friend. So I kept rubbing pollen all over her stuff every chance I got. One time she asked me why my hands were all yellow and I changed the subject.
Okay.
I knew I couldn't keep this up forever.
Okay.
Audrey was even saying her parents wanted to move her somewhere
on.
without so much pollen so she wouldn't be sick.
Please, please, please become a fish. If you become a fish in the next 3 minutes, I will feel so satisfied, but I'm just not feeling this right now. I feel so clickbaited.
When Audrey started inviting me to her
Come on.
house, I knew I'd have to go eventually. I
Look, look, look. Those are worms maybe coming out of her, fish like
was
worms.
afraid her parents would
on,
smell me
that could be
and
it.
ask why I smelled so
Those
bad.
are water bending symbols.
I was
Could be
so
an air water bender.
scared to be embarrassed again.
Do we have any
So I
fish?
kept telling her
Bubbles,
I
bubbles.
was
That's another
busy.
sign. Bubbles in the background. We're getting
For a while, it worked okay.
Come
I
on.
could tell she was upset, but I was getting out of it.
Okay.
Then my birthday came.
Fish,
I walked outside
fish,
of school
fish.
and
You
Audrey
got a
was
Porsche?
waiting with balloons on a car. Her and her dad were gonna take me to a water park. They had set it up with my mom.
This is the moment we've been waiting for, guys. She's gonna go to a water park and fully become a mermaid.
I started freaking out, saying I didn't feel well, and Audrey told me she'd take me home at least.
Okay, good.
Logically, I should have just gotten in the car,
This is it.
but I
This
couldn't
is
bring
it.
myself to do it. I sprinted down into the woods, running away from her and her dad. A ways
caught a
into
fish.
the woods, I just plopped down.
Yes,
I
plop
was
down.
crying
Did she mean flop, like a fish flop?
too hard to keep running.
Please.
I felt so ashamed of my smell.
Please
so
become a fish. Don't do this
ashamed
to
of
me.
what was going on with me. I didn't even notice Audrey and her dad coming towards
No.
me until it was too late. I knew I was caught, so I just exploded. I told them everything. I smelled like fish constantly, and I was the reason Audrey was sick. I begged her dad not to move her away, and I begged
Please just become
Audrey
a fish.
to stay friends with me. I was shocked
Don't tell me. Don't tell me that I just got clickbaited for 12 minutes and you're not even becoming a fish.
when her dad
Don't do
leaned
this to me.
down and told me he was a doctor.
No.
I had nothing to be ashamed of. I wasn't dirty or diseased. I just had a condition called trimethylaminuria. It was really rare, so
No,
a
this
lot
can't
of
be real.
doctors didn't
What's it
understand.
called? Trimethyldimmendermia. A fishy odor. That's it.
I had never felt so relieved in my life.
No, this can't be real.
To
Please,
my
no.
surprise, Audrey wasn't mad. She
No.
knew how cruel people could be, but she
I'm not just
told
give
me
you-
I should know by now that she was my friend and didn't care about things
Don't
like
do this to
that.
me.
I felt
No.
such a weight off my
You're a
shoulders.
fish.
Audrey
You are a fish woman. I did not just get clickbaited for 13 minutes of my life to see a girl have dimethyldimendermia.
Audrey's dad helped me to my feet and we went off to the water park
please.
for my birthday. He didn't even say anything about my smell. I've learned so much about friendship and kindness because of my condition. People who are mean to others might be mean to you when you need them most. In the end, people who don't care about my condition are the ones I need in my life. Now I am older and I live above a fish market, so the whole street smells like fish, and not only me. So I am having the best time of my life.
I'm a little bit upset, I guess I would say. I will leave a dislike on this video. This is what she could have turned into. Perhaps a mermaid. Even a girl holding a fish would be fantastic, but she didn't turn into one. So like, go ahead guys and just leave me one of these for the torture and pain we all just experienced together. As always, look at that screen. I'll see you all tomorrow. Peace.